If you're tired of pouring your heart and soul into your music only to see little to no financial return from it, you're not alone in this process. We're all with you. But if you want to know the real reason as to why this is happening and most importantly, what you can do about it, tune in to today's episode of the Music Money Makeover Show. The real reason why you're not really making any money is this: your expectations are outdated. Current artists desire to have the monetary and material reality that artists of the physical era had back in the day. Because of this, many artists rely on Spotify by default to achieve this result. It's only because physical mediums or physical albums generated so much money back then that the stigma still remains when comparing successes of artists from the physical era to today. Your expectations are outdated because the mediums have shifted and the cost of consumption have drastically decreased. This shift makes albums more of a promotional tool in the beginning stages and a financial asset to be leveraged years later down the line. Many musicians don't have the patience to wait for the financial gain down the line. And this is what's happening. So not only that, whereas back in the day, people would make a lot more money off of music, now it might seem like they're making a lot of money off the music, but they're not, but they're using their fame to leverage other opportunities that you can't see, and they're putting it back into the imagery of the music. And so it looks like, well, man, it really came from over there, but it's over here. You see what I'm saying? And that's just what, or vice versa, it's really over there, right? And not at the music. Well, back in the day, it was right here at the music. You could really sustain yourself on the music, especially if you really recoup that budget early on and you did a lot on a low budget. Especially all my independent hip hop artists in the South. They made a lot of money off music back in the day. Hey man, it's a new day and age and we're not making money off of music per se. We're making it from the fans and supporters of the music, but it's not coming directly from the music itself. So we have to switch our mindsets to focus on those fans and supporters and give them what they need, and then everybody else can have the music as is, right? We may sell a little bit of music here and there, vinyls and all of that stuff, but again, we're selling experience nowadays versus what it was. Let's keep going. What is a medium and why did it change? A medium in our case is a particular form of storage for data consumption. It is the instrument required for data to be produced on one side and consumed on the other. Mediums change due to technological advancements and consumer demands. Humans create new technology and consumers begin to demand better value, meaning customers want as much as they can get for as cheap as they can get it, as easily as they can get it. On the other side, tech creators want to solve a production problem to create as much as they can create for as cheap as they can create it, as easily as they can create it. And this leads artists to use the tools that techies made to produce music that the consumers want. So both sides want a cheap end result, they want an easy end result, and they want as much as they can get on that end result. And the artist is sitting in the middle, and this is what's happening. Now, when the medium becomes cheap enough to consume, we stop making money. You see what I'm saying? On the consumption end. And we have to move into a different level of sales. This is why I always say we want to turn our sights to the fan and not strictly focus on the music itself, because the music is so easy to consume right now. We have to give the fans an experience and the supporters an experience. Now on the tech side, right, once the software has come in and has made the consumption cheap enough, like streaming, if you will, and other things like video consumption and all of that, we now have to say, all right, well, since tech made it cheap enough, we have to also decrease our production costs to make this make sense so we can have more money to be made to actually fuel the experience for the fan and supporter. Because that medium is different. What the supporter wants and the fan wants is way more than what the samplers at the bottom want, or the casual listeners want, if you will. All right, let's keep going. The digital age turned music into a loss leader. Now, a loss leader is a pricing strategy where a product is sold at a price below its market cost to stimulate other sales of more profitable goods or services. In our case, merchandise, concert tickets, and outside brands or brand deals. The purchasing of music is no longer the primary income source, but rather a tool to build an audience. So, as I've said before, you are the Pied Piper that draws money out of the pockets of the mice that follow you. And you use that money as leverage to do something else with. So music became that product at the bottom that we need. It's the poster child, we need that, but it really just displays our talent. It puts it on display for us, and then from there, we do things to change people's lives, and once those lives are changed, they forever want a piece of us through, merchandise or experiences. And that's where we're gonna make our money, All right, let's keep going. The streaming revenue trap. Many artists desire to make money from their music as it was in previous eras, and they run to Spotify and the likes to get their money. However, without a physical medium to buy and use to consume music, music has become cheaper to consume. The streaming revenue trap is a mental hypnosis trap, and your mind is still trying to make logical sense of what happened in 2006. Your mind says a million streams generates $3,800 on average, which would have roughly been 380 CDs sold at $10 wholesale. It's unsustainable for the amount of time, money, and effort I have to put in. Wait, this can't be right. I'm trapped. What is this? Where's the money? You're stuck there. That's why I'm saying the money is not made on the streaming side. Yes, you can make a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, after taxes and insurance and security and lifestyle costs, that money's gone. So it could be $1 million made off streaming, but if you're making $1 million off streaming, that money ain't there. That money, man, it's so many hands that gotta touch that money from the gross amount. By the time you get it, it's almost nothing. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, you gotta get out of the trap. You gotta get out of that mental trap that money is gonna be made from this music. It's not. Bro, we serving the people out here. We serving the people hot merchandise and experiences at the end of the day. That's the real reason why you're not making money from this music. You got to see it through. Okay, let's keep going. Well, how do I make money? You're going to build 3 things in your career and leverage them for money: catalog, fan base, and revenue. If you build up these 3 elements, you'll have no problem in this business. Talent builds the catalog. Personality builds the fan base. And from that, the catalog and fan base builds the revenue. Those 3 things: catalog, fan base, revenue. Catalog, fan base, revenue. Leverage the catalog, leverage the fan base, leverage the revenue. Well, how do you do that? You take the catalog and you license it. You sell to the fan base and you do brand deals with the fan base. And then with the revenue, you leverage the revenue with the bank to get more money to do more stuff. What are we talking about? Catalog, fan base, revenue. That's it. I just want to make a product and sell it. You are making a product and selling it. It's called your brand and people want to experience it. The moment it sinks in, the easier this business becomes. We're no longer selling CDs, vinyls, and cassettes as the norm. It is. Instead, we're licensing our brands for millions and billions. Content creators understand this from the start. They went straight for the brand value, bypassing the talent. You got talent, right? All right. You have the added advantage, and that's talent. And that's just what it is. The thing is, you can't get stuck on your talent and say you're better than everybody else. You're a content creator that just so happens to have talent, which is highly leveraged over those who don't have talent. The people who don't have talent that are strictly content creators have to do so much more to be seen that it almost looks like a variety show, if you will, or a minstrel show. But with talent, you can put the talent right on top of the content creation and transform what's happening. And it's not like the content creation hasn't been going on for years, for decades. It's just been in different forms, but it's been happening. And you just put the talent right there on top, man, come on, man. It's game over, but you gotta see it that way. You gotta see it that way. You know what I mean? And once you get it, it'll make sense to you. Well, I don't have anything to leverage. You'll have leverage as soon as you build up demand for your presence in music. As you earn revenue, that too becomes a leverageable asset. It's going to take time to build leverage. So just kind of go with it, man. But once you understand that I got enough to actually push the seesaw down. If the seesaw is on the ground flat, I don't have any leverage, but we put a block underneath it and it's a little block, it's going to move just a little bit. We keep adding more blocks underneath that piece of board, and eventually we could get that board to move something higher on the other end. It's just going to take time to get the leverage, but you can get it. But again, catalog, fan base, and revenue, that's what we're going for here. So if you can understand that and understand that the money isn't necessarily made on streaming, but on the experiences in the fan base, oh my God, dude, it's a mindset switch. The whole mindset, that's what this whole month has been about. Switching your mindset. Here's what you can do. Focus on serving fans and supporters first at all times. Build a direct-to-fan strategy, monetize through merchandise, develop live and virtual performances and experiences, seek sync licensing opportunities, and diversify with brand partnerships. There's no way that you can lose. So long as your audio dopamine is high-quality dope, you can win in this game, all right? And to support all that cash flow, I encourage you to jump into my 60-day record label course beneath this video, because you'll build your record label and publishing company together with a foolproof step-by-step process in 60 days or less, giving you the ability to gain revenue or giving you the ability to get funding for your record label, keeping the middleman out of your pockets and preventing yourself from getting screwed contractually in this game. Grab my free guide, 10 major steps to increase your record label's profits, with this course, or before you get the course if you're skeptical about what may happen in the course. All right, a free split sheet is included with the download. Now, let's talk about your upside in this. If you focus on fans first, then automatically your catalog, fan base size, and revenue will follow suit by growing to massive proportions. I'm not lying on that. Straight up, that's what's gonna happen. It's a switch. Everybody that comes in, that consults, that books a call beneath this video, everybody's coming to me and, hey man, I'm putting this on streaming. What do I need to do? You're looking down. You're looking down here and you're figuring out and you gotta look up here at the fans. The fans are like, yeah, we want more. And you looking at all the people that are getting free samples and they're like, man, we want more of this, man. Well, this ain't as good as the last one and this ain't the good. And they're complaining. And you're not serving the people who are not complaining. But in a minute, if you don't serve them people who are not complaining, they're gonna start complaining. And the complaining from fans is worse than the complainers from people who ain't gonna pay you a dime. Because they don't even pay you a dime to listen to the whole album. Think about that. A 10-song album at 0.0038 cents is 3 pennies. These people ain't gonna pay you a dime. And you trying to sell to these people? Come on, man. I'm trying to sell to somebody to make 3 pennies? Come on, man, get out of here with that. All right, here's the downside. If you focus on streams first, you won't last long in this business because you're chasing a debt-inducing business model. So the artist is debt-inducing, not Spotify, right? So that's just what it is, music money makers. The whole point is to transform you from an artist that is solely focused on what used to happen back in the day to an artist that really understands what's going on right now. Music money makers, if you make music, you should always make money. Log on to musicmoneymakeover.com, jump into the 60-day record label course beneath this video, grab the free stuff, book a call, smash the like button, and I'll see you next time. Peace.